and I'm going to take you now to its ending, which heralded another beginning, and you are all actually part of that beginning now. So music has always had a really special place in my heart and my life. My maternal forebears were musical Methodists from Maloliut, who were, because of their religion, they weren't allowed to like dance or anything, but they used to play the church organ and like do percussion on the Sunday crockery and sing. And my mother taught herself to play piano accordion when she was a teenager, and she was a born performer. So she played at Christmas gatherings at my primary school, and when she was newly single in the late 70s and 80s, she also played at the very many parties she went to with a cigarette in her mouth, bare feet, and a bottle of King James next to her. I went to state schools, but I was really, really lucky to go to Kelmscott Primary for most of my my primary school education, and there was a beautiful music teacher called Sally Christmas who was there, and she was, if anyone had ever came across her, she was a gift of a person, and we're just so lucky to have her as a choir mistress, and she made sure that we all developed a love of music. So almost without us knowing, in choir she taught us performance, diction, concentration, and we sang at the concert hall with people like Jackie Love, if anyone's old enough to remember her. And I remember Scottish pipers being there, and us as 11-year-olds going, "Hey, what's up your kilt?" You know? And yeah, it was just it's a wonderful experience to do that. And my mother, even though she was very consistent with much of her parenting, but she always made sure that my choir dress was clean, my shoes were polished, and I had a very neat part. And she dropped me at choir practice every morning in the last couple of years in primary school, and drove me to performances. So that was our real point of connection. So the pleasure of playing music was a counter to the kind of chaos that I had at home. But I didn't get into Perth Mod going into high school, so I went to the unedifying environs of Kelmscott High School. And although I kept on playing clarinet for the next couple of years, my heart wasn't in it anymore. When I dropped out of school at 15, I did learn classical guitar for a few years, but then I just gave it up, and I didn't really play music again for a couple of decades. But this is what happened after my mother died. In 2020, I buy a cello. I buy it unsure whether my fingers, after 20 odd years of rheumatoid inflammation, will be strong enough to hold down the strings, whether my back, still sometimes stiff from horse riding related compressed fractures, will tolerate the playing posture, whether my musical ear is up for the task of fingers running up and down the cello's fretless neck. But when I first draw the bow across the C string, the cello leans on my breastbone and sends its slow, sonorous sound through my heart. I have found my tonic note, the note of beginning and ending, the note that resolves. I recognise the sound that I have been trying to find without knowing I was looking. For as long as the sound lasts, I have a resolution.